What's going on, guys? For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Ty, and today in this video, I'm going to be ranking 60 upcoming 2025 films by excitement, just my own personal excitement. I'm going to talk about whether I'm through the roof for them or if I literally could not care less about them. Now listen, I'm going to be talking about, like I just said, 60 films, but inevitably I am going to be missing out on some movies. So if there's one movie I forgot or 10 movies I forgot, let me know down in the comments below. And also be sure to drop a like if you like this video and also subscribe to the channel. If you guys are ready for an exciting 2025 and a bunch of great videos hopefully that I will be making. Just launched a Discord server, so if you guys want to join, links in the description down below. But listen, let's just take a look at this tier list here. Like I already said, for a third time now, we have 60 movies here. We've got 5 tiers right here. First of all, can't wait. These are pretty self-explanatory tiers we got here. Can't wait. These are movies I literally wish I could have today. I'm so excited for them. Then excited. Movies I'm very excited for. I mean, I don't really have to go too crazy over them. Curious. Films that definitely are intriguing me, but there's not too much to be excited about. These are movies that I'm pretty indifferent on. I'm like 50-50 on. And I don't care are for films I truly could not care less about. Now, do not get me wrong. There are some movies that are going to go and can't wait that might end up being really bad. There are some movies in I don't care that might end up being my favorites of the year. There's no way to tell, again, just based off my excitement. One thing I also want to make clear, there's probably a bunch of movies that we don't even know are coming out yet, like around Oscar season, the second half of the year. Especially there's a lot of films that come out like December that we don't even know exist until like August or July. So yeah, again, gonna be a lot of missing films, but I thought 60 was a nice clean number, so let's just get this kicked off. We're going to be kicking things off here with 28 Years Later. I think I'm going to be putting this in the excited category. We have a trailer for this movie. A lot of the films on here are coming out in a while, so we don't really have trailers for them, but Aaron Taylor Johnson's in here, Ralph Fiennes. I am super through the roof for this movie. The trailer looked super intense, super thrilling, super creepy. I have not seen the other movies, I'm gonna be honest, but if you could sell me on just a trailer and I haven't even seen the other films, I honestly think that's pretty impressive. So it's gonna be going in excited. I've got to kind of burn through these because again, we have 60, so I'll probably talk more in depth about ones that I do have more investment towards, and I'll sort of just glance through the ones that I don't really care about. Next up, we're gonna be talking about Alto Nights. This is a movie that apparently is coming out like March or April. We don't have a poster, we don't have a trailer, but I know it's just like some type of Robert De Niro crime movie. Goodfellas is one of my favorites of all time. I don't know how Robert De Niro is still kicking it and still acting. This is going in though, because again, if your movie's coming out in April and we don't have a poster or a trailer, that honestly kind of makes me a bit, like, is this really going to be that good? Are they really that confident in the film, from the studio's perspective? But either way, I mean, I'm not, I don't completely not care about it. Love De Niro. This could end up being cool, but show me a trailer. Give me throw a bone at me. You know what I mean? Give me some crumbs at least that I could follow the trail towards this film. Next up's going to be Ballerina. You know what? I don't know if this is going to be that amazing, but I'm still pretty excited for it, honestly. I really like the John Wick universe. You're bringing Ana de Armas in here. We know that John Wick himself, Keanu Reeves, is going to be in this movie. I think that, all things considered, this is going to be pretty similar to the John Wick films. I know it takes place between John Wick 3 and 4, so again, he's still alive, or at least we think he is, but apparently they're also making John Wick 5, so maybe he's not even dead. Either way, I'm pretty excited for this. Apparently, they were like re-editing this movie to add more action in it, so that could both scare me and excite me at the same time, but either way, at least they're self-aware of maybe some mistakes they were making. Next up's going to be the next Paul Thomas Anderson film with Leonardo DiCaprio, which is currently named The Battle of Bokton something. I don't know what it's called because it's just like a working title. There's no official name, but PTA's next movie. I'm definitely curious about it. Leonardo DiCaprio is probably my favorite actor. It's tough. Him and Timothée Chalamet, I feel like, who's like, people are saying is the next Leonardo DiCaprio. I feel like I'm really starting to get a lot of hype on him, but Leo, I absolutely love. PTA has some great films. I've been watching more of his films recently, and I'm going to be watching all his films leading up to this movie. But as of right now, again, we just don't really have any information besides some behind the scenes stuff about how Leo was just wearing like these glasses and it looks like he's robbing a bank or something. I don't know. I'm curious, but again, this could easily shoot up way higher if we just get even like a poster or a title or a description. Next up's going to be Black Bag. I'm pretty on this. It's going to go above Alto Nights because we actually have a trailer and like a poster, or at least we just have a trailer. This is with Michael Fassbender, who I love, and I believe Cate Blanchett. It's kind of the same exact movie as like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where it's this couple and they're both spies and then they have to go against each other. I've seen this before. It's nothing new, honestly. I really like Michael Fassbender, like I already said, and I forgot who's directing this. It's someone interesting, so look it up for yourself. I just can't think of it off the top of my head, but yeah, I mean, this film is going to be fine. I think it's actually Steven Soderbergh. I might just be making that up, but yeah. The Black Phone 2, I honestly don't care about. I'm not a big horror guy. Haven't seen the first movie. I think Ethan Hawke's a phenomenal actor, but I don't even know what happens in the first movie. Like, does he die at the end of the first one? I have no idea. Is he even going to be in this movie? I don't really have any investment towards this, but at the same time, it does have a pretty unique concept, like the first Black Phone. Like, I do know like what it's about at least. So, I'm relatively excited, but at this point in time, before I watch the first one, I'm not too excited. So I don't care at this moment. Next up is going to be Begonia, or at least this might be a working title for Yorgos Lanthimos' next film. I'm definitely curious about this one. I'm more curious than Leo's film, or the PTA film, you could say, because this has Emma Stone in it. And apparently it's something along the lines of Emma Stone kidnaps the president because she believes he's an alien. That is kind of like a rumored premise, but either way, I am sold because Yorgos and Emma have been on a tear. Not gonna lie, I did not watch Poor Things. I haven't really seen any Yorgos films, but I'm just saying generally, Emma Stone just won her Best Actress award in Poor Things. So clearly they have some type of magic. I'm definitely gonna be watching more Yorgos this year, hopefully at least. Next up is going to be Captain America Brave New World. We're pretty much getting to my bread and butter, the superhero genre, which there was a lack of films in 2024, so I'm excited to get things popping again, honestly. I'm excited for this movie. I'm going to put it towards the top of excited. Listen, everything right now is working against this movie. There's been reshoots. There's been, a bunch of drama behind the scenes, People are saying the CGI looks bad. People are saying this and that. Sam Wilson can't be Captain America. But either way, despite all the things that are going against it, I am still excited for this movie. I thought the trailer looked awesome. If they can capture that Winter Soldier vibe, even if, the stakes are a bit higher, even if it's a bit more, it's going against the whole grounded approach, still, I'm excited for this movie. And it's one of these things where I'm going to believe it until I see it, where I'm going to believe it's going to be a good movie. If I see it and it sucks, that sucks. But I'm excited for the movie. Next up's going to be Companion. This movie was going to go in excited, but I'm going to put it towards the back of curious because this movie has Jack Quaid. It looked like one of these weird A24 type of movies. But then they just released a second trailer like a couple days ago, and it kind of just revealed the premise. And I won't spoil it for you guys if you guys are like one of those trailer avoiding people. Quite honestly, this feels like a common situation where a studio just destroys their own movie by revealing information in a trailer. And again, it's not like this is a Marvel movie, like, oh my god, we're revealing Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. But still, I was already intrigued. Why would you reveal the premise right as the movie's about to come out? Because this movie comes out in like 2 weeks. Just let us see for ourselves. Trust the audience, because if this movie ends up being good, that's great, but don't like spoil your movie basically. Next is going to be The Conjuring Last Rites. I've only seen the first Conjuring movie. This is going in I don't care. I'm going to put it above The Black Phone 2 because I've seen a Conjuring film. Not really a big horror guy, honestly. When I see good horror movies, I really like them. I don't actively seek horror films, though. I didn't see, like, Smile 2 from last year. I didn't see Longlegs, and I saw, like, 50 movies from last year, practically. So, yeah, it's going to be going there. I guess, this series is finally coming to an end, so maybe I'll watch all of them. That could be pretty exciting to do once the spooky season comes around. But, yeah, at this moment, I'm not very thrilled about it. Dirty Dancing remake. They're making a remake of Dirty Dancing that is like the OG poster, I believe, but I couldn't find one for the remake because there is no information out. There's no trailer, there's no poster, nothing like that. I feel like we're really starting to enter this era, and don't get me wrong, like we have for the past couple of years, but of just remaking 80s films. We just had like the Roadhouse remake. Now we're doing Dirty Dancing, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind it because I get some people see these movies as outdated, even though I would say they're undeniably classics and they don't need to be remade. I'm going to put it at the back of I don't care, though, because I haven't seen the original Dirty Dancing. I really like the original Roadhouse. I don't think it needed to be remade, but yeah, it's going to be going towards... I mean, I'll put it up here, though, because honestly, again, I don't really care about horror too much. Next up's going to be Dogman. Listen, Dogman's going to go in curious, okay? I'm going to put it, like, right here, I'll say. It looks pretty goofy. It looks pretty, like... It has like this ironic twist to it where their situation that Dogman is going through is pretty brutal. How, like, this kid basically dies and they put the dog's head on his body, but it's supposed to be played off as just like a silly little kid's movie. I don't know. It seems pretty cool. It seems pretty different, and it's coming out pretty soon. So naturally, I'm kind of just more interested in something that's coming out like towards the end of the year that we have no info about. Elio. I'm very on Elio. I mean, I'll put it above these other movies because at the end of the day, I'm more interested in a Pixar movie. But the premise of this film, I'm just really not interested in it. We saw a trailer like 2 years ago practically, but there's nothing in this movie that really stands out to me where I'm like, wow, this seems like so revolutionary and so interesting. It just seems kind of like a bland Pixar original idea. But again, can't judge it until I see it. But at this point in time, we're just talking about excitement today. Next up's going to be F1. I'm kind of on F1. I'm going to put it at the top of love Brad Pitt, but this just seems like one of these movies that's really, really expensive, but it's not going to have that much substance. Like, I'm not really an F1 person. I'm not really a racing person. I like sports movies. And speaking of sports movies with Brad Pitt, Moneyball is a phenomenal film, but I just don't know how good this movie is going to be. I believe this is an Apple film. They always overspend on their movies for some reason. I saw the budget for this movie is like $300 million, which is insane. So yeah, it's going to be going towards the top of And the reason I'm bringing up the budget is because sometimes studios just throw a lot of money at films and they're like, hopefully they'll be good. And that usually means they're not good. So like Red One, for example. So yeah, I'm kind of at the top of for now. Once we get closer though, again, a lot of these could shoot up. A lot of these could move throughout the year, but I'm talking about right now, you know what I mean? Next up's going to be Fantastic Four. I know this might sound kind of crazy to some of you, but it's going to the top of Curious right here. Listen, I am an MCU fan, right? I'm a superhero movie fan, even though I'm kind of done with the MCU at this point. Still excited for the movies because they're a lot easier to watch than boring shows that go on for like 8 weeks. Fantastic Four, we have no trailer for, we have no poster, we have no this or that, we haven't even seen the actors in the suits. There's not too much to be excited for, in my opinion, at this moment. We don't know who the villain's going to be. We don't know anything. I like some of the details, how it's going to be apparently in another universe. I just don't really know what it is. I'm not super thrilled, though, at this point. Once I see a trailer, maybe I'll be more excited, but I don't know. Something about it. I have a feeling this movie may not be as good as everyone's kind of hoping it's going to be. But there's another superhero movie that we're going to be talking about soon that I think is going to be very, very good. Final Destination Bloodlines. I'm going to be honest, I just don't care. I'm going to put it above The Black Phone because I like, you know, this mysterious thing about how a bunch of people die. And I'm going to put it behind The Conjuring because I've seen the first movie. Not much to talk about. I don't really have any investment in the Final Destination franchise. I haven't even seen any of the movies. Avatar, Fire and Ash. Can't wait for this movie. I think that Avatar 2, what's it called? Way of Water, is actually worse than the original, just a little bit, but I still really liked the second one. I love this world. So even if I didn't think the second one was as good as the first one, still super excited for the third one because I feel like this world James Cameron's building is just so exciting. It's so thrilling. So yeah, it's going to be going at the top of can't wait right now because nothing else is in there. Next one's going to be Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I don't care. Actually, I'm going to say I'm going to put it somewhere like maybe here. Because even though I really did not like the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, the first one, hopefully they could learn from their mistakes with the first one because I do like this video game franchise, but I really didn't like the first movie. I feel like it wasn't scary enough, it wasn't gory enough, and I get it. It's like kind of targeted at kids, but you can push it a little bit. Like, let's be serious here. There was like nothing really that exciting within this film. I mean, it was cool to see some Easter eggs and stuff. Matt Pat was in there, but I mean, what are we doing here? Freakier Friday, I literally don't care about, but also I don't really like horror movies, so it's going to be going here. I'll put it above the Dirty Dancing. Actually, no, because I kind of like musical-oriented movies, so Freakier Friday is going to be going there. You got Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis coming back. This just feels like Disney pushing out some slop sequel X amount of years later after we have the first movie come out. Next up is going to be the How to Train Your Dragon live-action remake. You guys are going to call me crazy, but I've never seen the original How to Train Your Dragon. Of course, I'm going to be watching the trilogy before this movie comes out, but I grew up a Disney kid, didn't really grow up a DreamWorks kid. I watched Kung Fu Panda for the first time when I was like 18 or 20 practically, so, you know, give or take. So, there's going to be going in Curious, I would say, somewhere around like here, but I can't say I'm super thrilled about it. I think it could be pretty good, but I'm just kind of over the whole lazy premise of live action remakes. If a movie's good on its own, why would you literally remake the same movie? I'll give you a hint. The reason they do is because it makes them a lot of money, hopefully, or at least that's what they want to make. But yeah, for now, it's going to be going in Curious. I Know What You Did Last Summer. They're remaking this movie. Listen, I have not seen the original. Again, I'm going to watch the original before this. I feel like I have to say that about so many films on here because studios are just pumping out sequels and remakes. I think that this is going to go in Curious because I'm a slasher guy. I know that I said I'm not a big horror fan, but I am definitely a slasher type of person. This is definitely going to be going somewhere like right around here, right in the middle, or right above How to Train Your Dragon. I'm just curious. I mean, that's the best way to put it. I am curious about this movie. I don't really know what the first one's about, but I'm going to be real. I just really like the title. I Know What You Did Last Summer. It just sounds so corny, sounds so 90s. Madeline Klein's going to be in here. I think she's a great actress. So if this could be somewhere along the lines of like a Thanksgiving where it's kind of cheesy and kind of corny, I think this could be a hit in my books. Jurassic World Rebirth is the movie we're going to be talking about next. You guys, some of you might want to kill me for this. This is going in Can't Wait. And I really don't care. I'm a Jurassic Park person through and through. It's one of my favorite franchises as a whole. I can acknowledge that the past two Jurassic World movies were not that good. I agree with everyone 100%. but this is a nice fresh start. You've got Gareth Edwards in here, who in my opinion is a great visionary director. His films have a very consistent style. ScarJo, love her. Mahershala Ali, love him. Jonathan Bailey, love him. And it feels like we're kind of toning things down. We're going to like this island. This seems like it could be a pretty cool movie. I am very excited for this film. Again, I think it's going to look beautiful. I think that hopefully we'll have some better human characters because, again, Gareth Edwards I trust more. And also the writer of the original Jurassic Park is writing the script for this movie. Can't wait for the first trailer. And honestly, again, this is just my own personal, opinion here. I just love this franchise. Every single film that comes out, even if some are bad, I'm still excited for it because they're always just so fun. And I feel like they always have potential, even if they don't always, actually go through with that potential and make a good film. Next up's going to be Karate Kid Legends. Right now, I'm going to put it towards the top of And hear me out. I have pretty much no investment in the Karate Kid franchise. I watched the first movie, and it's one of the greatest sports films ever. It might be my favorite sports film, potentially. I love that film. I didn't watch Cobra Kai. I haven't really seen any of the other films. I've seen the Jackie Chan one with Will Smith's son, Jaden Smith, a while back, practically like in theaters. The trailer kind of sold me, though. I'm going to be honest. The trailer actually looks kind of cool. So, again, let me just say my script here. I'm going to be watching the Karate Kid films before this movie comes out. So I will be getting that over with. Oh my god, so many remakes and sequels. But yeah, that's going to be going towards the top of for now. I really like Jackie Chan. Next up is going to be Last Breath. This has been playing in the theaters nonstop like the trailer. I don't care about this movie. It has Simu Lee and also Woody Harrelson. On paper, that sounds cool, but I don't really care about like a 47 meters down type of movie. It's going to be going maybe like right here. I don't think it looks all that good. This seems like the type of film that can literally be 20 minutes long. I don't know how it's going to even make it to like an hour and a half, but I guess we'll see where it goes. Lilo & Stitch live action remake. It's going to be going in I think. I love Lilo & Stitch. It might be my favorite Disney movie, and I know I don't seem that, I don't seem too enthusiastic. This just feels so cheap to me, though. It's just so cheap. I'm more excited than, quite honestly, the original Disney movie coming out this year, technically, even though it's Pixar. Elio. I'll put that at the top of I guess. I mean, I'm kind of excited to see what they do with it to an extent, but I'm almost not even curious because what's there to be curious about? We're redoing the same movie in live action. So it's not that I don't care. I'm a little intrigued, I guess you could say. The Day the Earth Blew Up. This is a Looney Tunes movie that's coming out. I'm going to say that I'm going to put this at the back of curious. I don't know anything about it, but I like the fact that Looney Tunes are returning to the theater. I love that. Looney Tunes, it's a really good franchise, kind of in the same vein as like the Muppets, where like they had their era, they had their time, they were very popular. They've kind of fallen off and they've kind of dwindled. I love the Muppets 2011 movie, one of my favorite movies ever practically, but yeah, kind of in the same vein again, Looney Tunes. That wasn't never really as invested, but I want to kind of support this movie a bit. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Haven't really seen much though. Love Hurts. This is going to go probably towards the top of I know it seems like I'm throwing everything towards the top of probably like right around here. This says Ki-Hoo Kwan, Marshawn Lynch, the Seattle Seahawks legendary running back is going to be in here. So pretty cool to see an NFL football player, in a movie. But it just seems like your run-of-the-mill early year action film. It doesn't seem like it's going to be anything too crazy, honestly. But, just give me a fun time at the theaters, and I'm sure that I'll enjoy it. Next up is going to be Marty Supreme. This is easily going in excited. I'm probably going to put it right at the top of excited for now. This is going to be Timothée Chalamet's film with Josh Safdie directing. Apparently, it's going to be like Wolf of Wall Street, Uncut Gems. It's going to be this really fast-paced, also, type of film that stars Gwyneth Paltrow. It's going to be very fast-paced. It's going to be in the same veins as those films that I mentioned. I'm super down for that. I think the Safdie brothers are incredible, and even though it's just one of the brothers, truly believe this is going to be an impeccable film coming out next Christmas. Next up, we've got Megan 2.0. I pretty much don't care. Like, I enjoyed the first movie, but now I'm kind of just like, what else is there to do? Like, okay, I don't really care. Technically, I'll put it like right here. I guess I have the most investment in this movie over the other I don't cares, but I really have nothing to say about it. Next up is going to be the Michael Jackson biopic. This is definitely going curious because we just don't have that much information yet. I'm not like a Michael Jackson fan. I love Michael Jackson's music, like his hits, I'm like a very casual Michael Jackson person. I know the words to his popular songs. I'm going to definitely put it pretty high up. I'm probably going to put it like right here. I think this could be a really good film. Apparently, it's going to be really long. I saw an article that said there's going to be like 40 of his songs in here. I know that his nephew Jafar Jackson is playing him. I'm very curious about this movie. Again, it's just so far away. It's not going to be coming out yet. We don't really have any information, but once we get that first trailer, once I hear a couple songs in the trailer, might get my foot tapping, might have to hit a little moonwalk, then I'm going to be fully bought in potentially, but we will see. Only time will tell. Mickey 17. I am in love with Robert Pattinson. Can I just say that? He's like my favorite actor practically, or one of my favorite actors. But I'm curious about this movie because something about this film felt a bit off, like at least the trailer. Like it's coming out soon. It feels like it's kind of just getting dumped, just like the studios are trying to get rid of it because its release date has been moving around. I'm going to put it like right here. Again, Bong Joon-ho is directing this film. He did Parasite, which some people say is the greatest film of all time practically. I didn't love it as much as others. I still think it's a really great film. So I'm kind of just like on the fence with this movie. I'm very curious about this film, but I don't really think it seems like all that. Basically what I'm trying to say though is that I feel like the vibe of this movie, I don't know, something about the trailer just seems like awkward. I don't know. But again, love Robert Pattinson, especially when he's doing like a super weird voice. And this does have a unique concept, so I'm pretty excited to see it. Next up's going to be the Minecraft movie. This take might get me killed, but I am going to put this in curious. And I'm going to put it pretty high in curious. I think I'm the only person on this earth that's actually pretty excited for this movie. I'm going to honestly move Begonia down a bit, probably like around right here, because we don't have that much information on it. I know the trailers looked pretty stupid, but I enjoyed them. And I'm sorry, but I'm a really big Minecraft person. Kind of like how people like the Five Nights at Freddy's films, even though I thought that first one was pretty bad. I just love Minecraft. I'm a Minecraft person at heart. Jack Black I really like. Jason Momoa I really like. Danielle Brooks I really like from Peacemaker. Sign me up. I thought it looked pretty good. Like, I'm sorry. I know that it looks kind of stupid, but if it could just give me a solid Minecraft experience in the movie form, I'm with it. I'm with it. And I'm sorry. You know I'm kind of going against the grain here, but that's just my opinion. Next up, we've got Mission Impossible 8. This is so peak, baby. We are so back. This is going to be going right here, right in between these two. I love the Mission Impossible movies. I love Tom Cruise. I loved Dead Reckoning. I actually thought personally that Dead Reckoning is actually the best Mission Impossible movie. Like, I think they literally just get better as they go on. And I cannot wait to see where this story goes from like the part 1, even though they changed the name in Dead Reckoning part 1 actually. But again, they removed the part 1 after the movie came out, which doesn't really make sense because now this is called The Final Reckoning instead of part 2. So I'm very excited to see where this goes with Gabriel and the AI, and yeah, it's going to be a thrilling time. The trailer looked sick. Next up's going to be Mortal Kombat 2. I just don't really care about this movie. I watched the first one. I finally have seen a movie where a sequel is coming out, but yeah, I watched the first one when I wasn't really into movies like a couple years ago when this came out. It was fine. I mean, I'm going to put it somewhere like over here. I honestly really don't care. I know that Carl Urban's coming in, I believe it's Johnny Cage, but just not all that intrigued. The Naked Gun remake, I know that this is going to have Liam Neeson as the star role. I'm going to put this somewhere over here. I'm a bit skeptical because that original comedy was just, it's so great. Of course, it's in the same vein as like Airplane and those comedy classics from that era. I don't know if it's going to have the same potential today, honestly. Like, I feel like that comedy is a bit worn out, and I feel like it's so good because of its time, but they could capture that magic again. I'd be probably pretty down, but right now I'm pretty on it because I feel like that was just such a nice era that's really nice to watch, but hopefully Liam Neeson will be able to capture the same magic. Next up's going to be Nobody 2. Believe it or not, I actually don't really care. Love Bob Odenkirk. I watched Breaking Bad. This is going to be going towards the top, probably over here, but again, this is a movie where I haven't seen the first, and it kind of just looks like your typical action movie to me, honestly. I'm not like a super big punching, not really a good story person, honestly. Like, I'm not a big super action person. I like when there's a really good story being told. Again, haven't seen the first, so I can't speak too much, but just right now, not exactly thrilled about this movie. Next up's going to be Novocaine. This trailer has been playing constantly in the theaters. I'm going to put it somewhere in maybe right around like here. It looks like a unique concept, same as Companion, because these both have Jack Quaid in them, and they're both coming out in the first half of 2024. This is a movie where like he can't feel pain. The only thing is my brain can't comprehend the fact that he could still die. So just because he can't feel pain and he's doing all these crazy things, wouldn't he get killed from like internal bleeding or something if he's getting punched too much? Whatever, I guess we just have to suspend our disbelief when this movie comes out. Now You See Me 3. I don't care. I like that they're adding Dominic Sessa and some other people, I believe, but I really don't like the first Now You See Me movie. I don't know if that's a hot take. I haven't seen the second. It's going to be going like again toward the top because I will watch the second and stuff. It's going to be going probably like right around here, but I just don't think all the magic's all that cool, especially because we're watching a movie, so we know it's fake. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a Debbie Downer, but yeah, that's just going to be going right there. As you guys can see, it looks like I'm not excited for that much stuff, but I promise you, we're getting there. Next up, we're going to be talking about Paddington in Peru. I believe this movie already came out in the UK, but in the US, it comes out soon. This film's going to be going in honestly. I know that might sound crazy. I'm not really a big fan. I think it's going to be going somewhere right around like here. I just don't really have investment in the Paddington franchise. I watched the first one a while back. I thought it was cute, but something really too crazy for me. Predator, Badlands. I'm very curious about this film. I think it's going to be pretty cool, potentially. I like the sci-fi approach that we're taking here. Apparently, Elle Fanning is going to be in here, who's just in a complete unknown. I really liked her in there. I'm going to put this movie maybe towards the back, maybe like right around here. But I'm relatively thrilled about this movie. I like, a sci-fi creature flick type of film. Sinners, Michael B. Jordan, ×2, Ryan Coogler. Sign me up, baby. I am excited for this movie. I just absolutely adored the trailer for this film. Apparently, it's going to be like a vampire flick. You've got Haley Steinfeld in here as well. I'm really excited for this movie. This is hopefully going to be a really good film. And yeah, I don't know. I guess only time will tell. We will see where it goes. But the fact that you're getting 2 Michael B. Jordans, I could not be more excited as twins. Woo! Hopefully this will be a heater. Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. This is going to go in another live action remake. I just don't care. I don't care about the live action remakes. I'm sorry. It's going to be going maybe like right here. I don't care. You got Rachel Zegler, Gal Gadot, who in my opinion is like a stonewall actress where she just can't really act. She gives very wooden performances. Superman is my most anticipated movie of next year. I believe this has potential to be one of the greatest DC movies ever. You got James Gunn, you got David Cornsweet, awesome casting. I just feel like there's so much love and care that's been put into this movie. The trailer blew me away. You got Crypto, the world building seems like it's going to be so rich. I'm sold. I'm just absolutely sold. At this point, it's just a waiting game to see the movie. There's really not much else to say. Next up's going to be Rami Malek in The Amateur. I saw the trailer for this and I'm curious. I'm going to put it somewhere like right around here. I think that seems like a little spy thriller sort of action type of film, but I don't really know if it seems like it's anything too insane. But also, as the trailer progresses, it seems like there's more crazy things happening, like explosions and he's killing people. So I guess we'll just have to see once the film comes out. So yeah, gonna be going towards the back of Curious. Next up's gonna be The Bad Guys 2. This is gonna be going towards the top of I Don't Care, right at the top, honestly, because I think the animation looks great. I haven't seen the first movie. Again, I know that I've said this like 100 times in this video so far. But yeah, that's the only reason it's at the top of I Don't Care. I just haven't seen the first film. Naturally, not going to be that excited for a sequel if I haven't seen the first. But this could shoot up all the way to Can't Wait. I just don't really know yet, but I'm going to be watching it beforehand. Next up's going to be The Bride, a Maggie Gyllenhaal Frankenstein type of movie. This is going to be going for me, at least right now. I know it seems like I'm just not that excited about stuff, but I promise we're getting to some stuff that I'm pretty excited about soon. The Bride's going to be going probably like towards the top, honestly. Probably like right around here somewhere, I'd say. Maybe like right in the middle. I'm not a huge Maggie Gyllenhaal person. I don't really know too much about her. Of course, she's in The Dark Knight. I know Christian Bale is going to be in here, which excites me, but I don't know. Haven't really been like the biggest fan of what he's been doing recently, personally, but either way, I still think this has potential. Just not super thrilled because, again, a lot of these movies we don't have too much information on. That's a huge problem. The Electric State, we've seen a lot about this. This is going to be going towards the top of because even though it kind of seems like your normal Netflix a slop type of movie where you're just getting like a very basic cast and you're kind of just playing things safe, kind of excited to see what they do with this film because, again, the cast seems kind of cool. I like the concept. Millie Bobby Brown, Chris Pratt, I'm a big fan of especially, so I'm pretty excited. The Gorge, even though this is an Apple TV Plus movie that's basically straight to streaming, Miles Teller, Anya Taylor-Joy, they're protecting this gorge and they're both snipers. Sign me up. Like, honestly, sign me up. I'm going to put it probably right around, I'm going to say here. I'm going to actually say like right around here. Hopefully I actually end up watching this movie, but I thought the trailer kind of sold me, honestly, even though it might not be anything too crazy. Next up's going to be The Legend of Ochi. This is like another A24 film that has like one of these weird concepts. You got like a little baby Yoda looking animal in here. At first, I literally thought this was an AI made movie because the art looks like it's AI generated. Apparently there was an official confirmation that it's not. The studio had to like come out and say that. Willem Dafoe is going to be in here. Seems pretty awesome, I guess, but at the same time, I don't know. We haven't really seen too much. Saw like one trailer for it. I'm going to be putting it right around here again. I'm not really too thrilled for it, honestly. It's just kind of one of these A24 movies that I don't think is really for me. The Life of Chuck, this is a Mike Flanagan film starring Tom Hiddleston. Apparently this is going to be somewhat along the lines of like a Truman Show where it's just like this weird sci-fi concept. Mike Flanagan is an awesome horror writer, so I'm excited to see if there's any horror elements in here. I'm going to put this right around here. And again, these could all probably be swapped around a little bit, but yeah, for now it's going to be going there. Next up is going to be The Monkey. Oh my God. I am so excited for this movie. This movie is going to be going right around, I'm going to say here, honestly. The Monkey, you've got Theo James in here, first of all. And I just feel like the concept is just so cool, where there's like this monkey that's been passed around from generation to generation, and whoever touches it or something like that dies a horrific death. kind of in the same vein as like a Final Destination, but of course not exactly the same. I just loved the direction. Longlegs, even though I didn't see it, loved the trailers, and that's going to be the same director. Next up's going to be The Accountant 2. Haven't seen the first film, but I really like Ben Affleck. I think I'm going to put it somewhere like in the middle here. I think an action movie where a guy's an accountant, but he's also like, I guess some type of, I don't know if it's like a spy or just some type of John Wick type of figure. That intrigues me. Again, once I see a trailer, maybe it'll shoot up a bit higher, maybe it'll even go lower, but I don't know at this current moment. Next up's going to be The Running Man, the remake with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm very excited for this film. There's going to be Glenn Powell in this movie. Of course, I've got the original poster there because we don't have a poster yet. I'm going to put it somewhere over here because, of course, it's coming out later this year. We don't know. Edgar Wright's directing this movie. I didn't love Last Night in Soho, but I love Scott Pilgrim. I love a lot of his other movies, so I think this has a lot of potential. Next up is going to be the next Insidious movie. I just don't care. Honestly, I don't even care to move it. It's just going to sit right here. I think this might be the movie I just care the least about. Next up is going to be The Thunderbolts. You know what? I'm kind of excited for this movie. You know what? I'm going to say that I'm curious about this film, and I'm going to actually bump up Fantastic Four, and I'm going to bump up the Michael Jackson movie, because I actually do have some excitement for those films. Thunderbolts, my only concern with this movie is that it's just not going to be all that interesting, because you've got a bunch of characters that I feel like are kind of just mumbo jumbo thrown together here. I like John Walker. I like Florence Pugh. I like Red Guardian. I don't really care about Ghost. I don't really care about Taskmaster. I don't really care about Elaine from, Seinfeld, her role. I just don't really care about half these characters. I care about half these characters. The director of Beef, the show, is directing this film, so hopefully it'll be good, but I just don't know at this point in time. I liked the trailer again. You got Bucky in there as well. How could I forget him? Love the guy, but yeah, it's going to be going at the top of Curious. Of course, I'm excited for this film, but I can't put it in Curious yet. Tron Ares, I'm kind of on, because especially the fact that I don't like Jared Leto. I'm sorry. Apparently he's going to be in here. This is going to be going somewhere around, I would say here, maybe right around here, right in the middle, because I like that futuristic element. But again, let me say my line. I have not seen the first movie, so I haven't seen like the 2010 Tron movie. Again, I will be watching it before the movie comes out. I feel like I have to say that 50 times, but it's going to be going there for now. Until Dawn, I remember these movies when I was like in my teenage years. Oh, I'm like Unk now. I'm too old for this. This movie's going to be going in Curious for sure, maybe towards the back of Curious, right around here, because again, we don't really have too much info, but Until Dawn, I'm familiar with the video game. Even if I haven't played it, I've watched a lot of videos on it, so it's going to be going there. Wicked for Good, not Wicked Part 2, they had to rename it. This is going to be going and excited. I'm definitely excited for this movie. I loved the first one. I think I'm going to put it high. I'm going to put it very high. I think I'm going to put it like right there. From what I've heard, the second part of the play isn't as good as the first part of the play, or like the first act of the play, you could say. But I'm still excited because I don't really know what happens. I'm sure I could look it up, obviously, because this is a story that's super old. But since I don't really know what's going to happen necessarily, even though I've heard, a couple spoilers, still very thrilled to see where this goes. John Chu cooked with that first movie, loves Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande together, so I'm excited to see what they do here. Next up is going to be Wolfman. This movie comes out, this is probably going to be the first film that I actually see of 2025. This is going in Curious. I'm going to throw this one right around somewhere in the middle. I think I'm going to put it right there. I think I'm good with that. It's going to be going right there. Of course, don't get me wrong. Again, I could probably move a bunch of these around. These aren't perfect, but as long as they're in the right tiers, that's all I really care about. Very curious about this movie. It seems like it's pretty good. I like that we're getting to see Julia Gardner in this, especially because she was in Ozark, and she's going to be in Fantastic Four, so seeing her on the big screen is great, and Christopher Abbott as, like, the Wolfman, I guess. I don't know, them two together, if it's only going to be, like, 3 actors in this movie, them two, and then the kid that they're with, I'm down for that. I'm down for a little, contained monster flick. I'm really a big monster movie person. Even though I said I don't really like horror, I like creature monster flicks, and I like slashers for sure. Not a big, like, possession type of movie person. And just like that, we're down to Zootopia 2. You know what? I'm excited for this movie. I'm going to put it right at the back of excited, not because I'm lazy, just because I literally think that's where it's going to go. I don't love the first Zootopia. I did love it, but then I rewatched it years later, maybe like last year, and I didn't really love it as much. I feel like the story was a bit lackluster on rewatch, even like the message and the way that they actually portrayed the themes. I feel like it was like a bit awkward. However, I do think this world is vast. There's a lot of potential there, and I like the main characters that we have here. So I still am pretty excited for Zootopia 2. And just like that, we have ranked 60 films by excitement. Now listen, if I missed anything, again, let me know down in the comments below. And also, whatever you guys are excited for, let me know down below. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. My brain is extremely fried. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.